So if you guys talk, everyone can hear you. Hey, what's up, guys? It's E here with 25K Trading. Welcome to today, Tuesday. I don't remember the date because I'm sweating my balls off. Watching the indexes trade today here on QQQ. We had an amazing reversal from over 3%, and we're just under 1% now. I got a couple of other traders here on my Discord chat with me. I have uh, I have Leo and I also have Robert here. So just want you guys to chime in. I had a long on VIX this morning. I closed that for a little profit. I'm holding the short right now that you see right now. I want to see. I'm going to carry this short over to the last 1 hour of trading. The last 30 minutes is where we will see, that margin calls and also the fund rebalancing. So I want to get a really good idea of where the price is heading going into that because once again, I want to churn the butter. I want to marinate that steak. I want to have a swinging position. I do not I don't want to have this, just close it out while there's a bigger movement downwards or upwards that we can capture. Hopefully not an upwards movement, right? Hopefully not like yesterday. But it looks like it's changing a little bit and going down to the low side for now. But we had a couple of reversals here intraday. It was a magnet towards the high and then it pivoted down to the low. All right, cool. I just wanted to introduce the day if anyone watches, because I know some people out there watch this stuff like afterwards, so I can see how many people. But let me know, audience, if you guys can hear. But let me post this on my stock puts and stuff. That's pretty much it. Biggest fans. I am back. Oh, how dare you! It's okay, dude. It was. It was. I forgot my username password. I'm not gonna lie. Like, no, I'm not shitting you. I literally just forgot my username password. I never bothered to recover it. I'm sorry for leaving you guys in the dark, but I had other things to do that were on my mind. I remember, dude, I don't think you guys understand how many messages I got. Were like, "Hey, Eric, are you alive? Hey, how are you guys? How are you doing? Like, where are you? What are you doing these days?" And I sometimes would respond, and sometimes I wouldn't, just to put people on the edge. Really? I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I'm definitely not dead. I almost died. That's good. That's funny. It's much easier to sleep when you're just holding long. That's all I gotta say. Short is the other side of the story. Short is very horrible. Fucking. I honestly don't. I don't understand how like these fund managers are not dying young from the amount of stress they have. So those for that joining us on the stream right now, I got some other guys here on Discord. You guys are welcome to hop on the Discord if you want an invite. Just mention something in the YouTube chat real quick. Um, but yeah, so crude went down today. So this is what brought everything down. It was essentially crude going down at the close of the commodity pits. Big drop on crude. We know why crude went down. It was because of we know why crude went up was because of the Trump pump, and now we know why we went down. Obviously, because OPEC said nothing's being done. So that's a big drag on the market today, which is oil. Otherwise, probably would have been a very bullish day. But oil is keeping a lid on it, and also we had the 200 moving average EMA. Uh, so that being said, I think that was a really critical rejection here from the 202 section, 202.82 area of I'm sorry, that's a stop loss. Or this 202 area and change for the highs on Nasdaq. We pivoted towards that high, and now we're dropping back towards the low. Does it really? They're like, we know oil's low. Don't fucking do this. But it is a free country. You can UT if you want, UWTI or DWTI if you want to. By the way, we're talking about the 3x leverages for those online. So it looks like we're kind of just like chilling, marinating that steak. Hopefully, it's a good marinade at fucking 3 p.m. Eastern time, 3:59 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully, I didn't drop it on the floor. Dude, I actually have no idea what's gonna happen here in the close. Like, I want to say that it goes down like I always do because it's going down throughout intraday. I don't know because like if mom and pop bought in today, that's gonna be a big green spike at the end of the day. But I don't know. We're just at this is not it doesn't look as bullish as yesterday. And I think there was a combination of short runs yesterday as well on the close. Um, so I don't think that's going to be the case today. I think it's going to be somewhat of a different solution. But once again, I am a bear, right? I'm shorting. You have yet to see me put out a long recommendation because I agree with a lot of economics out there that say that the recession is coming and we'll see it in later on this year. The low isn't the low yet, and again, I think that just takes time. I don't think I'll say this again. I'll eat my hat if a new high is made rather than a lower low. And this is something I've repeated now 3 times to people in the traders in my chat. I just want to say one more time. It took us 5 decades to get to 3.5% unemployment. You cannot snap your fingers and get 20% unemployment back to 3.5%. Impossible. Because it took us 50 years to get there with financial manipulation. We can't do it again. Like it's not going to be like as easy or simple as a lot of people say. Think it's going to be. And the stock market is not a reflection of that. Stock market is a reflection on earnings. What's up, Revolt? So we're slowly bleeding out here on QQQ. Just slowly bleeding out. Nothing too crazy. Um, Again, the last 30 minutes or so are going to be hectic. So everyone, if you have a position in today, hang on to your hats. We're probably going to go for a while. Wide. It's a all. Can you get another mic or something? I will try to get. I'm using my AirPods, and I've listened to myself. I think the connection is bad. Yeah, I think so. I think the internet's just overloaded. Like I have like 100 MB. It should be no. I have 100 MB, like 25 MB up. Like it should be no problem. I probably have more than 100 MBs. Was it megabytes? Megabits, right? Megabits. Like I have like either 100, 200 DL. So I imagine my upload speed to be good. So I apologize if my video is not good. I blame the quarantine. I think it's an echo or distortion. Okay, let me change my settings real quick. Oh, interesting. Now is my voice better now? My voice. I changed my AirPods. I was using my fucking Mac microphone. It defaulted to my Mac, but I have my AirPods in now, so it should sound a little bit more crisp, maybe. Not for you guys on Discord, but for you guys on YouTube. What's up, Vladimir? How are you doing today? So I'm gonna delete my position on here because I know what it looks like. So if you guys were able to shore up that on that failed bull flag on the when it came back up, I think that there's a possibility, depending on how we close. I'm going to judge it how we close to see whether or not I need to close it, close half, or let it ride. I'm literally out of all positions except for this one I'm in right now in terms of the short because I literally got wiped out yesterday. So I got to restart got to rebuild the house. Unfortunately, fucking. Ugh. You know, I hate when you see so much profit there and then just evaporates because you're trying to capture like the trend and then the trend moves 10% like in 2 days. What can you do? Yeah, exactly. It's like we're trading indexes too. It's like these should be moving along. That's why I went long on the VIX this morning because I think that the VIX should be popping up here soon. Let me get my other headphone to it. I think VIX might spike up to the upper 50s. Right? The VIX actually hits 200 MA as well. Isn't that interesting? The equities hit, which is this purple line I have, and it's hit as well. It's bottoming out 43. Right? Let's just ignore 15 VIX from back in the day because we're trading this elevated VIX. So you can see there's a downtrend in VIX, if you guys can see, right? And then I don't know if you saw my graphs from before VIX popped. Same exact downtrend here in VIX before it popped. Obviously, this one's probably not going to run up all the way to 80, but I fully expect the VIX to run up to the 50s, but I'm not in the VIX trade anymore. But I think that's a very good possible trade right there. The VIX to the 50s. Oh, that's not true. I still have a. Okay, so I'm using Trade App to mirror some of my trades, and I'm still I have a long on my Trade App, but it's not it's significant. And when I'm saying like VIX is good long, I mean it's not like all everything in wrong. It means like it's just a simple trade that I think VIX will pop out of this triangle to the upside. How do you get to Discord? Here's the link. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna hit that high. If it does, that's ridiculous. But and very rare, but I think right here it's making a solid base. I think it's basing for what, a couple days now, 2 days now, right? And we haven't even seen a similar kind of base in any other day. In any other trading, we actually have very kind of look at the MACD, right? We've turned upwards on the 1 hour on VIX. I want to see some kind of like you have the divergence here, right? So we have a lower low. Actually, no, there's no convergence there. What am I looking at? A higher low on MACD, but you have a lower low on the VIX, if you can see. So that, to me, that means the price may pop. And we're supported by the moving average. Again, the VIX is a very dangerous product. Don't trade it unless you know what you're doing. Essentially, it's an indicator on the volatility, which means put and call options. They're measuring how much the put and call options are out of the money. Yeah. Essentially, I'm betting to say, here, not only bulls will be killed, bears and bulls all together get slaughtered. I don't care what side you are on, you get. But in this certain case, it's going to go down if bulls get slaughtered because we've been in the downtrend. But again, yesterday, notice how we popped yesterday. This little candle right here, it's a pop on VIX on the close. On the close yesterday, we popped 1%. I think this morning was only good. It's popped too high now, so there's no really buffer if it does rip overnight. But I'm kind of like looking at if we will close this, like fully close, and we'll actually end up negative here for QQQ because it's we're almost there, guys. Like we're almost there. Yeah, we still have an hour, 20 minutes of trading left. You know what? If QQQ drops to 194.78, like 195, I would not be surprised. Because the amount of movement we're doing, and it hasn't even been the last hour yet. Um, no, 195 was a critical point for my analysis. Essentially, any price going above 195 means that my analysis was wrong, and I have to redo my Elliott count. So I'm going to look at my Elliott count again because there's certain criteria that has to be met on the waves and the wave lengths and the wave heights. And I had that all measured out and tried to predict possibly where it would go using Elliott. Because Elliott's more like, you go spelunking in a cave, you go cave exploring, right? You tie a rope to your waist. To come back, you follow the rope. Although it won't be the exact path the rope is on, it's still kind of like a guidance of where the price can go. So hey, we might be at a peak or we might be at a low, and we might be at a major high or we might be at a major low. It's a good way to say, hey, I might need to sell here or I might need to buy here or I might need to close my position. It's kind of like a path because of all prices move hard and like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have a retracement of ABCs. But within the ABC, you have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it gets very complicated in that way, how you can combine everything. But I like it because, again, everyone can count differently, but the movement will always stay the same, in my opinion. What's up, Miguel? I'm gonna spam stock twist a little more so I can get some more people. By the way, this is a crazy reversal. Like this is a 3% reversal almost on QQQ, which to me, it's like we're back, 3% up, 3% down. Fuck you, you know. plateauing. I think my computer just froze, so I might be cutting. Oh, actually no. Oh god, fucking. Yo, so do you guys use Do you guys have a? Do you guys use a MacBook? I mean, I'm sorry. Do you guys use Sidecar? How you can use your iMac as a secondary screen? If my computer crashes right now, it's because of this fucking Mac. Oh my god. I have a gaming rig. I don't game though. I just use my Mac. Just waiting. Sorry about that, guys. I had a little technical difficulty, but fortunately, I didn't lose the stream. I have a lot of trouble. You guys, anyone out there also use Sidecar? I have very difficult issues with it when I'm using it with my Mac. It always freezes for some reason when I'm using Citrix with it, and a combination of Citrix and all these other apps. I don't know why it doesn't work. But anyways, we're technical difficulties, right? A new low here for the day. Oh my God, we're closing the gap. The gap is about to be closed. Wow, just erased like that. Very bold traffic. See, this is the kind of price action I was really expecting yesterday because yesterday, right, we have the low volume, we have the push upwards. This does not seem like did not it seemed more like a bull trap, the low volume kind of. I don't trust any low volume movement, right? That bottom that was in earlier had a lot of, last 2 weeks had a lot of volume. So it kind of confirmed the temporary bottom, but I don't think that's going to be the true bottom in 2020. Yeah, but we're coming here to the close. Oh fuck! It's not even 12 o'clock yet because I started streaming early today. Holy shit! We're still an hour out, guys. This can I guess we can reach into negative territory. How about now, guys? There might be a little lag on the audio, but how's my voice now? I sound works, but sounds like a tin can. Oh, I know why. I think I know why. It better? Okay, good. So we're sinking lower and lower. So we have an hour left, guys. We actually went negative here for, I think we just literally went 0% for the day. But I think we continue down here, guys. I don't think this drop's going to end. I think we're going to continue going down because there was a control pivot on the, I think we dropped, I think, down to around 195 on the futures. So maybe we get to 195 before the plunge team comes in and throws everything back up. I don't know. DMD, I don't know. I wish I can know. I wish I can forecast the future, but these last I imagine this last hour to be the last 30 minutes to be just as crazy as in the past, in the past the past what 1 month of closing to be just as crazy. So I'm here to watch. I'm here to watch and observe. But I would like this not to go up. I would like this not to go up. Obviously, like is much different than what it actually will do. You saw some shooting stars. Let's check. So let's run through the 5, 15, 1 hour. So the 5 looks, we know what's going on, right? So we have this 15 is kind of like pivoting up and down. Let's look at this 1 hour chart. And I've told my traders here that are also in the chat room that I think I'm relying a little bit too much on the 5 and 15 minutes. I usually always trade on the 1 hour, but for some reason, I guess bad habits of watching the price move so fast. This 1 hour looks to me a possible flag was in the make. We have this on the daily, right? So we had this possible bull flag here on the hourly, and it completely has dropped to the downside. And this is for QQQ, guys. I think QQQ is the not I can't say the leader in the pop today because we're back to pretty much even, but it's the one that's been dragging everything. Oil has suffered big losses today, which is crazy to me because I was watching the oil, the energy sector. I saw the energy sector up 6%. I saw oil about to pretty much crash through the floor, and I think at that point when we bounced off the day of the low, for QQQ, that was no brainer for short near the highs because once again it's doing that little game where it pivots all the way to the futures high, pivots all the way to the futures low, and then that's the range for the day. Right? If it's not breaking out or breaking down, those are that's the two ranges for the day. So everyone I think that's trading these indexes should be looking at the futures to see what the control point is, whether it's where it's the lowest and where it's the highest, because that's where the price wants to go. And I think that again, if my memory serves me right, and I'll double check the NQ chart after this, is that the QQQ will drop all the way down to around 195, which is where the post market lows were. Then we dropped maybe like 50, a half a percent maybe there. So maybe look to see if it wants to go there. But again, I don't know because this triangle broke. We might have to retouch 198 again before we go down. So again, a lot of things can happen. I think in the next 1 hour or so. Still a lot of time left here in the trading day. The old power hour. So just a little bit on the fundamentals today because I've been watching the news. So we had in terms of the coronavirus. I don't know if you guys are up to date on this, but I'll just spew it ahead. Cases are down, deaths are up. That's pretty much it. Deaths are the highest it's been in New York City since the highest it's been in 24 hours since this disease finally has come to America. So it's looking pretty grim here for New York, but at least the cases have been going down because of the social distancing. But I think now, because a lot of people have been infected in the last few weeks, it takes around 10 days to get critically ill. And I think people are now approaching that critically ill point where not new cases are being discovered, but cases that were previously there are getting worse. Or people that have been in the ICU are getting somewhat worse because of the time that's progressed. Um, I expect states that like Georgia, Florida, Michigan to have higher cases here in the future. Similar with New York City, just because of the population and also of the stay-at-home orders too as well. Detroit was hit hard. Chicago, I think. I definitely think Miami's probably going to be hit harder, and those more southern Florida cities along the coast. But anyways, none of that news matters anymore because Corona news I think is literally last month's news. I think the thing that we need to be focusing on is the recession and the impending recession, right? I heard an analyst this morning on Bloomberg said the range is like 1750 to 2000 on SPX, and they have a target for this in the summer. Well, it's definitely not in the summer. We're like in the first week of April, and that's the exact same kind of mindset I have. I decided this morning that we missed the temporary bottom, but I don't think I want to go long on this. Even if this rips all the way up, I do not think a new high. This thing is just coming right back down because of the recession, because of earnings, because these companies in the stock market rely on earnings, not speculative growth, like stock price growth. They actually rely on like hardcore earnings. Like this whole thing of the NASDAQ where you have companies that don't make money come in, well, they're relying on user metrics, right? How many users can you get? How many users can you acquire, right? They don't have to make money as long as you get the users, because more users means more potential money in the future, right? Less users, less money. Same thing with earnings. Less earnings, obviously, your stock price won't go up with the earnings, right? Like, how many restaurants are advertising on Facebook right now? Probably not a whole lot. So, this is what I'm thinking will happen. Don't quote me on this, right? We broke down from this triangle, possibly something like that, right? This movement looks very small on my map, but this is like a 2% move. So, I don't think I mean, we might go up 2%, but I highly doubt it. And I want to go back, just back to what happened yesterday, right? So, I've actually been hearing a lot of chatter that this move right here, let me double check the MACD real quick to see if there's any divergence or convergence. Um, so this point right here where we broke out, this downtrend, which is this yellow line right here, right? The fact that I thought, right, I got played like a fool. I thought from this point we were gonna go test this, right? But instead, on Sunday, it got literally popped up until it opened as a breakout. This seemed like to me that this was a forced breakout, that like this was not natural, right? Once this price broke out, it is natural for the machines to take it higher because that is seen as a pure breakout. I originally thought it was a bull trap, but obviously with the volume it had, the low volume, there's nothing short of back to sell out of it. So it continued upwards. It just very suspect to me that it literally went up all the way to that resistance line overnight, 3-4% on the worst week. We were expected to have the worst week ever. Really, no news, no stimulus news, nothing got signed, right? We've been talking about additional stimulus bills for the last few weeks, but nothing really was cemented, right? Other than the Sunday that Trump said he'll build new highways, and then he rambled for like 10 minutes why the existing highways are not as good as the ones he would build, or something like that. Um, but that to me did not warrant the 3% pop to the upside. It seemed like very forced, not seem natural, which I think is why this pop here, once it hits the 200 EMA, which is that purple line right there, it's going to drop like a rock. Hopefully. Now I'm still very bear on the whole market. Right, this market is only 20% from these highs. It's really not that far away. If you look at in retrospect of where it was in October, November of 2019, we're trading at the same levels. So we're trading at the same levels roughly when this virus was first discovered. And to me, that is crazy because we had the Fed repos. Remember in September, where the Fed overnight had to inject a lot of liquidity to the banks. And
that was the beginning of this recession talk, right? Then the Fed was lowering interest rates uh, throughout the year in 2019, which contributed to even more of a pop towards the end of the year. So we can kind of see that there was already concern by the Fed. Now with this unemployment, all these things, yes, it's covered by the stimulus bill, but I do not think 200 QQQ right now is a good buy. Absolutely not. There is never in a way where you can convince me that 200 QQQ will suddenly become 300 QQQ 6 months from now. I think that's I think 6 from now we're in a very bad shape. Me personally. Yeah, because the SBA loan system's not working. Like people can't even get unemployment. How do you think they're going to give out millions? Like I don't understand, like the small business loan. You're right though. The small business loans I think is very important and well, very very important, right? But like video chat, like he's literally talking to like biotech firms, and that's the whole pump. We have Walmart doing this. We have this public company doing that. It's always a pump. It will. I definitely agree. That's what it looks like DMD. It looks like exactly what you said, an escape hatch, right? Technically, I completely understand technically why this broke out. But why did it gap up 3.5%? Don't know why. I can understand why again it gapped up 3.5% this morning because we went up 7% yesterday, right? But we don't have that. We didn't have that momentum on Monday, so I don't know. 52 minutes left in the market until close. Tick tock, tick tock. Tesla respirators. Maybe it was brought up by Tesla. Tesla, the was it BiPAP machines or whatever it is, bivalve, whatever. It's just like manually breathing machines or something like that. It's non-invasive, so it doesn't go into your body. Like I feel like any company that knows how to 3D print would be able to use to make one of those. And we were talking about this earlier, right? Face masks, right? If you saw the Peter Navarro leaked documents yesterday, it said to it clearly detailed 1 billion masks were needed to fight this epidemic against the coronavirus. And uh, I mean, like, we don't have the materials for masks. It's textiles, which are all located in Southeast Asia, right? But we can make these face masks and respirators, these elementary respirators. These are easy because we can print the plastic. But I'm actually fearful because how does the globe have masks for everyone? So that part of the containment's already past news or moved past this. The question is, when do we let people outside? They're selling them illegally on there. That's why, because they can't sell on Amazon or eBay. Yep. The FBI have raided many places in America just getting that stuff out. Like some people would hoard 1 million masks. That's a ridiculous amount of masks. Like that's a lot of help lives can be saving. Yeah. So guys, we are getting that ramp up. So I think my 1 hour the 1 hour chart I had looks about be correct. Right, we had this flag that broke down, and it kind of broke down here. Right, standard breakout or breakdown procedure. We just gotta wait for time. You know what? I think a lot of people are buying here in anticipation of the close because they saw the close yesterday, and I think they're trying to ride that up again. Hopefully, it's a rude awakening to the downside. Yeah, it just feels like a pop from the low. Yeah, Mike. So like, Tesla made ventilators using the current car parts. Yeah, I mean, like, I I really doubt the quality to those ventilators. I mean, like a Tesla costs 35 to 40K, obviously without all the the base Model 3, right? Some ventilators cost what 200 to 300K. They're pretty advanced machines. You can't just make them, right? That's why they're making those like manual, or I don't know, the non-invasive ones. And I'm pretty sure Tesla hasn't delivered any like real ones. Yeah, Mike. So I think Trump and Elon Musk are similar when it comes to stock market pumps. They're very good at it, both of them. Elon is great at pumping Tesla. He's great. He even got like investigated for it. So here's the little pop from the low. I think that movement's over. I think the pop to the upside is over. That was a ferocious pop. Let's see if it goes above my resistance. Switching back to the 5 minute. I want to get mentioned. There's a lot more volume today than yesterday. A lot more exchanging of hands today. Dude, like, oh my God, I feel like I'm immune to like 1% moves on indexes. I'm just like legit like unmoved. It doesn't phase me anymore. Like a 1% move in like 15 minutes. It's like I don't even give a fuck. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, give me, Yeah, it's like be like, oh yeah, dude, look, yo, I got a 1% gain today on my long. Hell yeah, like usually you're fighting for ticks. Yeah, usually the future traders I'm with, they're like, oh, I'm gonna scalp a few ticks here. I dare you. I fucking dare you to scalp a few tricks, a few tricks, a few ticks here. That's why I said I shied away my futures account because I saw the movement these days. I'm like, I did some calculations, and when a point is what, like 50, I think, on Q in was it 50 on SP on E minis? I forgot. 50 a point, and then moves what, 1,000, or I'm sorry, 100. That's $5,000, just like that, right? No, is it 15 or 25? I'm losing my mind. I can't think. 20, 15, 15 a tick, 15 a ticket, so 60. Yeah, I think for futures you definitely need a six-figure account to play futures. I mean, when they give you the ability to buy $130,000 or whatever it is, like $140,000 worth of SPY when one contract, that's a lot of that's a lot of leverage for $500. DMD, you playing options? Yeah, see, options are great for hedging. Yeah, see, this is coming through here, so we gotta wait for this. Again, if I was a computer, I'll be fucking trading that shit like, oh, time to bounce, try to short, right? But I'm not a computer. Neither are any of you. So, and I honestly don't trust anything I would program myself, like on Ninja Trader or even on TradingView. Like, don't trust myself because I feel like if I can fuck up the computer, I've seen computers fuck up all the time. But very risk, like a rhythmatic. Is that word? I don't know. Yeah. They see the bounce. Yeah, they see the bounce, the previous high. They do some math calculations, say this is where I'll go, this is where I'll dump. Come on, baby. Come back down to Poppy. 12:20 in 1 minute. 40 minutes left in the market. Long put spreads. I kind of want to sell puts. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to sell puts on equities where I want to buy them at. Like, I wouldn't mind. What do you? Okay, actually, let me move up. Open with your mentee. What do you think? This is going to happen with airlines. Okay, airlines are distressed. It may take more after the stay-at-home order is released. It may take additional time for them to come back because demand's going to be weak. People will be fearful of airplanes. Bailout is the only way for airplanes to go back. That's the only way. It's either bankruptcy or bailout. And in my views, let's go to Delta. Yeah, out of all the airlines, I like Delta. Well, airlines are controlled by Warren Buffett. He has major stakes in a significant amount of stakes in a lot of airlines. But you notice how airlines are trading at their lows. This for me is not a buy. This for me means the market will go lower, mainly because Delta Airlines is about to crash to the fucking bottom and probably end up around like $8. Like, I'm not joking. Like, just because you got a bailout doesn't mean you'll succeed. I think a lot of these airlines will merge. They have synergies. Yeah, like they cut so many. I got all my flights pretty much cut in March. No refunds, just credit, but I'm, obviously trying to get money back, right? I can't get the money back. Why? Because they don't have any money to give. It's simple as that. They spent all the money that came in, right? They spent all the money. I don't think airlines are doing going to be doing well. Airlines for me is uninvestable unless I see confirmation. Right? There's a lot of trades out there that you can essentially just jump in and say, I want to buy this because it's a good company. Amazon, Apple would be those kind of companies, right? They're doing bad, but they probably won't do worse, right? Delta can certainly do a lot worse than it's doing now. Certainly a lot worse, right? We haven't done like surveys to say, hey, mom and pop, do you feel comfortable traveling in January or December of this year? Fuck no, right? Like I don't think anyone, especially like I'm going off by just my parents that care, especially because my parents are older, they're not going to take the risk of having a flight, even when this virus is reduced to 1,000 active cases. They're not going to take the risk. It's just like a weird psychological thing. Um, but that's going to be a slow process to recover from. And it will take us at least 3 months, just like predicted. April, May, June. So in June, people should be flying in the summer, right? Summer more activity, but we need to see how well we contain it. Well, how well we mitigate it right now depends is that how well it's going to be handled in the future for airlines. And I don't think airlines will recover from this. I think this is one of those things where they just I don't know. It's not going to work out. Boeing is definitely not going to work out in my opinion. I don't think Boeing's yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, fall. Maybe by the fall, but we don't know if the thing is in the fall, I expect us to be in the full blown recession. I don't think anyone's gonna be working or having jobs. I think like this literally goes into then, into October. It might not be as like high as 20 to 30% unemployment, but I think 10% unemployment in October is relatively reasonable to have. Right. And 10%, right, business slows down, travel slows down, everything slows down, right? Yeah, Raj asked about Carnival Cruise. Carnival Cruise, in my opinion, is not a buy. Why? Because they're burning so much cash. I don't even think their assets can cover if they max out their credit line. That simply is it. The Saudis got what, an 8% stake in this, an 8 9% stake of this overnight or 2 nights ago, and it popped the price up 20%. Saw that on the news. Carnival is not an interest for me because I think a lot of people are going to start to think they're like literally death traps. And I don't think, again, if they can manage to stay afloat for a year without bailout money, which they're going to have to do, maybe it'll be worth something more in the future. Their PE ratio is unbelievably low now. If you look at the PE ratio, it's like 3 or something like that, 2, right? That's because it's still trading at $11 because they don't think a lot of people are going to go traveling. I think what's going to happen to Delta is going to happen to Carnival. And this is just a chain reaction of everything. Yeah, we already said we're not bailing them out. Hey, what's up, Leo? We're just talking about airlines. That's pretty much what I said, but I talked for like 10 minutes straight. Remember, the only reason why we bailed out airlines is because of national secrets. It's because, you know, military people take them, sensitive information gets transferred that way, sensitive cargo gets transferred that way. It cannot fall into the hands. The Saudi Arabians cannot come in and purchase 10% of Delta or like China or like any other country that would possibly could manipulate the data in their favor. That's not going to happen. They're not going to let a PE company come in. PE companies buy distressed companies, right? That's the whole point of a PE company. Your company sucks. I'll buy it real cheap and I'll try to sell it for way more when we make you succeed because you have a good idea. All right, they're not letting these companies fall into the hands of PEs, of private equity, especially foreign private equity. I agree with that. Yeah, very, very delicate situation because they will be spying. Trust me, the U.S. spies on their own citizens. I have no doubt that any other all countries spy on their citizens. I don't doubt that we're going to be looking at the information, especially if it goes through a telephone. So, guys, it looks to me we made a little lower low here in the last five. We got 33 minutes here. Margin calls are about to be coming up here. So let's see where it goes from here. Because we gapped up, the margin calls will obviously probably be in the Bears' favor. But I don't know what the fund rebalancing is. I don't know how many people called in, decide to buy back in with their 401ks. I really hope it's more of a sell at the end of the day that there's buys coming in from retail and the hedge funds just sell everything to them. That's what I hope happens in the last 5-10 minutes. But we'll see. I think we close at 195 if that happens. But again, I will not be surprised if we close at 198, 199, between there somewhere. I'm looking for 195 here. And at 195, because I shorted around 200, I can 200 change. I can essentially just hold on to my short and see if it blows up. If it wants to run up 3% again, well, I'm not gonna be losing much, right? I'm essentially rolling my gains into more gains. And this is what I want to do consistently until I build a big short position like I did in last month. But it just comes back up just as fast as it goes down. So I still am taking a considerable amount of risk. But to me, it's not much risk due to my sizing. Be aware of how big your size is. I don't want to hear any of you guys saying I lose 20% of my account. Your account sizing needs to be good. That's good. That's good to hear. Great. Yeah, because when we all, I just want to say again, disclaimer for everyone. When I say I'm taking a big hit, in terms of my overall portfolio, there's no way I'm ever going to bet that much money. Like some people you see out there, like on Twitter and stuff, that are betting $1 million, $2 million bets might be like half of their account or all of their account, right? Like the guy from Barstool, right? I am not doing that. I refuse to do that. That is not the right way to trade. Best money is made slow and easy, not fast because the fast money comes and goes because it won't teach you how to trade properly. Now, sometimes you'll hit a home run, sometimes you will, right? But you can't be hitting home runs every single time unless you're swinging. Swing positions are the best. But swinging takes a lot of time, a lot of patience. Oh, you're like, yeah, definitely not one of those. Bitcoin has passed. It is gone. It is last decade. So we turn negative here on QQQ. So let's see if we decide to stay here in the negative or we decide to ramp back up to possibly like maybe a 50% retrace around this 199 area. But I think we stay around this area and maybe possibly go even lower. But I am not a mutual fund. I have no idea what the positions are. I wish I was a brokerage. I can see all the open trades out there, but I'm not. You got it right. Oh yeah, yeah, they're all American islands except for Bermuda. That's funny. I can save it. Hold on, so I mean, it's just a little pop. It's just a little kind of sideways action. I think it's really good. They're just gonna wait till the last few minutes here. Hopefully not a pop like yesterday. They're probably like calling back, like, cancel that order, cancel it. There we go. Yep, they're all moving in tangent. Thank you, oil. Everyone say hello, oil. Thank you, oil, for this marvelous down day. Buongiorno. Dude, it's because USO attracts futures, so it's gonna decay like no other. Because every time the futures roll over, it's just like that's like more decay that you don't need. That's why GOD is better because GOD doesn't track futures, right? There's funds out there to track physical and track the futures derivatives. Um, I just don't like how it rolls over, how it tracks the rollover. So guys, we made a new low here in the last 5 minutes. We're just we were just finding out what happens here. Next 30, we're already entered the margin call where people are getting their finances ready to close the day, and also entering the point of the fund rebalancing. So any big movements, like any big sells or big dumps or big buys, big covers, they're all going to happen here in the next 30 minutes. Everything's on its schedule, right? When you go to work, if you work a desk job, you open up your queue, whatever you're doing or whatever you have to do, and you got to do it, right? Same kind of thing here. The queue ends at the end of the day. Finish up your work. Let's see if we can end negative here for QQQ. I would love to end on a negative kind of day. Here's some buys coming in. Again, anywhere here for me, any close here for me is normal within that circle, this range. With such a big range, 195 to 199. Huh? Oh, those are the moving averages. Ignore the moving averages. They're just there to mentally see me the crossing between the slow and the fast. But the moving averages on the higher time scale actually give me resistance. Or resistance or support. I personally like looking at 1 hour and then looking at the moving averages. Here, let me see. All right, we're not even close to moving averages here, so it's not really a thing. But usually, whenever interest, yeah, whenever so look, that pop on Monday literally jumped all the moving averages. So here's a better look at the moving averages. This is oh shit. I don't know what I did there. Off to the gulags. It's probably people covering. This is probably people covering it because I haven't seen that big volume come in yet. Oh, I'm getting nervous. My pits are sweaty. Got maybe wear another shirt. Too bad I'm already naked. Raj asks, "What's the measured move of this pennant?" Well, this pennant dropped out. In my opinion, it dropped out. Raj, there is no measured move because it broke down, and this is on the hourly, and it did exactly on the 15-minute. You can see that retracement, right? So this was the bull flag until it broke down in the last hour. So at this point, we're just at the mercy of the close. The optimism was very strong in the last few days. Too bad I'm pessimist. Unfortunately, one of us is going to be right. It's either going to be the Bulls or the Bears in 6 months from now, right? It's already touched the breakdown point. So I don't. So unless it gets pushed up by amazing force, I don't think it's going to come above 199, 198. Granted by itself on normal trading, but this is again, it's the last hour. This is just kind of sideways action here. Was it 12:45 yet? No, 12:40. Oh, I'm tired. I don't think people. I think everyone's just freaking out. I think bulls are freaking out more than anything. Because who's here to cover? Like only the day traders. I don't think it's going to be a massive short. The short squeeze happened yesterday. So gold lost the $1,700 handle, but I think gold is going to go up higher tonight once the Asian markets open. A lot of QE was dumped everywhere in the world in the last few days. We had a stimulus bill like last week, 2 weeks ago, I think. But Japan just had a state of emergency QE, and also I think EU started to QE too again, with more stimulus bills. I think honestly, this buying action is just merely coming from the speculative state that they can ride this up to as well. Because I don't see any volume coming in right now. Nothing. I think everyone is expecting that little big bump, the green spike at the end, just to ride it up. But we'll see. We'll see if they're right. Yeah, the volume today is very, very, it's not heavy, but it's definitely not light. I think people are anticipating a run up in the day. It's gotta wait, man. If nothing happens today, I'll be kind of disappointed, but hopefully a big movement comes here to the top or to the bottom, because that would benefit VIX, I think, either direction. But I also want this to go down. Let's see that spike down. Um, John, I don't think so. I don't think Jobs' claims was ever a mover. I don't think it still won't. I still don't think it will ever be a mover. Payrolls, payrolls is market mover. Employment is market mover. I think jobless claims is going to be easily like 9 or 10 million again, easily. John, do you have up the right now the expected? Okay. Right now we're pushing up against a triple bottom. It bounced 3 times off the last yesterday's close. Just watching this last few minutes. 15 minutes left. 15 minutes left in the day. Let me just make this chart a little bigger. Volume should be coming anytime now. Anytime now. Volume in the last 10 minutes. Huh. Here it comes. That's crazy. We faded 3% gain today. And obviously we bounced up 1%, but I think it's pretty nuts. The thing is, the last 10 minutes aren't usually this crazy. They're never really this crazy. You don't really get a 1% swing at the close, but for these days, you do. You know, I'm gonna do some information searches on some of the tech companies, the Nasdaq that don't make any money. For example, like Snapchat. I want to see how well they are doing in terms of advertising and stuff like that because nothing's happening. So I might do some little market research after hours today. It's like, why do you need sports when we can watch this price go up and down, just because scoreboard buys. Right here's the 200. It needs to be slammed now. Hmm. Just a little pop to the upside. 10 minutes left. 11 minutes left. Just a little bit pop. Volume should be funneling in. Let's see. All right, let's take it down. Knock on wood. See, the reason why I think this is a high possibility going up is because if you bought mutual funds, the 401k mutual funds, right, they're going to be rebalanced at the end of the day, and this is when they're rebalancing them right now. So I really hope Mob and Pop didn't come in and say, "Hey, the economy is recovering. Let me just go rebuy in my 401k." So hopefully we see a little more sell action from the other funds, and we don't. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Uh, nice, very nice, very nice. Trap them longs. Oh, we still have 5 more minutes too. We got 10 more minutes. We got 10 minutes more of this shit, guys. Hold on to your hats. Hold on to your Vicks. Hold on to your dicks. Yeah, Link. So that's what I gotta look up on the advertising models and see how how companies are gonna fare. Essentially, like corporates are not gonna be advertising. We're not having any corporate events. Anyways, market spoken. We're going down, unless this next bar is gonna be a fucking fat blue, a green one. Dude, we can't circuit break at zero. Oh, dude. Oh my god. Listen to this. Oh, we can circuit break at 6% down, but we don't circuit break at 6% up. Like what the fuck? Free market my ass. At least they do that on futures. They limit futures at 5% up. So this is the volume, guys, rolling in. So we got another 8 more minutes of this. Be prepared. Right now, it looks like obviously sell, but behind the sell is a huge battle right now. There's just as many sells and buys right now. That's why the price is not really moving after that initial drop. Dude, I feel like yesterday was a trap. The whole yesterday was just for them to do this today. Come on, it's just a button. All you gotta click is close out all. Let's go. Come on, I want QQQ to close at least like 0%. I want 195, like I said. It's not unreasonable. I want that low of the futures, 195. Sir, I do not want this after hours. I want to see this print bright red on QQQ. Let's go 195 futures low. Let's fucking do this, boys. Let's turn. Get another 6 minutes, guys. We got a new low here. It's coming. It's coming. 195, baby. Let's go. Yeah, futures. I don't think futures turn red yet. Come on, let's go 195, baby. 195. 195. Oh, 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 oh. 195. 195. I'll take 196 too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not greedy. 196 is fine too. I just want a better buffer for my short because I've. Oh, it's come back up. Imagine if you're like, oh shit, shit, I need to buy on the initial jump, and then you're like, oh shit, I need a short, and then it turns out to be a buy instead. But hey, we got 5 more minutes, guys. Futures haven't turned negative yet. This close volume is highly suspect. The last 5 minute bar was not that big a volume compared to other days. Hopefully, this bar makes up for the last bar's volume. Again, bars usually mean supported movements. I mean, sorry, volume, especially at a specific price. Volume at 190, for example, a volume profile. This volume by price, and instead of volume by time, a very good indicator to look at. I think the market's done today. I think we're gonna stop here 197. Prove me wrong. I would like 195, but you know what? I'll take this. I'll take this. This is good. Oh hell no. No longs. No longs in this house. Wait, aren't you shorting this with us? Have you been shorting this with us? Right? Okay, good. Freaked you out probably. Come on, let's make a new low here. I know we can do it 2.5 minutes. Hey, what's up, Esteban? Pretty good. I saw your message here on the chat, but I kind of looked over it. I think you asked something. I was looking the 4 hour. I know. Hey, no, yeah, I have to stick with my original thesis. That's the lower low. Like I have to. Like overnight thinking, I have to stick with that. Like I don't care. I look stupid as this price goes up, but I know I won't look stupid in the end. So I need to. Market's telling me it wants to go down today. It doesn't want to go up that high to the 200 MA. I honestly don't think we're gonna go back there. That could be a temporary top. It's a technical breakout. Yesterday was driven by technicals, completely unsupported by fundamentals. And again, I was talking to this with Leo before you guys all came in the room. We're predicting the weekly candle before it prints. That's what I think makes us a really good trader because we can kind of see the future. We can envision the future. How will this print on the weekly, and how will that affect other traders? 1 minute left, guys. I mean, QQQ looks like it wants to close pretty much flat, like nothing ever happened today. Yeah, look at the weekly. Check out the weekly Esteban. You got 195, 196, 196. No, it's 196, bro. We closed 196. Damn it. Whatever. Whatever. So this was pretty good trading, at least for me. I don't know about you guys, but for me, this is kind of like, yeah, I'm back, at least back on my bear bias. It is a bias because I know this shit's going down. I do not know when. I do not know how long the time frame is. I just do not know. This is not comprehensible for me for this to be at the price where we are last October. So Uh, big close today. We had a 3% and a half pop, 4% pops to the upside here when the market closed. Sorry, when the market opened, we completely reversed that price to negatives for at least QQQ, which I'm looking at here. Um, Want to get a bigger look, we got to look at bonds, we got to look at currencies, and we got to look at what everyone has said here. The future, the tweets, the news that's being released, a lot of this stuff is influencing how people think and how people buy. For example, oil, Trump, those things influence people. People buy and sell based on those kind of things. And I think this is one big FOMO. This is essentially overblown FOMO, the FOMO that has been going on for the last 11 years. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly how I feel too. Yeah, I agree with that statement. Just because they're masters at pumping, and it makes sense because the stock market is a sign of American power, American might, American wealth, right? For that to go down only hurts the image of America. So as politicians, as the Fed, as all these other entities, it's in their best interest for the market to go up because everyone makes money. But in the end, someone has to lose money. And that's why we're shorting. It's because we believe the price is wrong. The price is not a correct reflection of what is actually going on, and then there's an arbitrage to the downside. That's a risk. That is correct. Because we can, again, the Fed can easily screw us over. We can't print $2 trillion to short. They can print $2 trillion to buy. Adios. Well, with that, so we had oil here helping us reverse today. Oil dropped down a significant amount, and that's what dragged down all the indexes. I went into short because I saw SP 500 also had a 6% pop in the energy sector, which I thought was ridiculous. As oil pushed down to the downside, it eventually crashed to 25 and ended up 24 and change. So that's where we are today. We are here on a almost total reversal of the day. That being said, I'll try to come on earlier and earlier each day. If you guys want to subscribe and hit like, please do if you enjoyed today's session. Subscribing, I know I'm coming on at random hours of the day because of my time issues I have here, but I promise I'll be on earlier and earlier each and every day. I just want to make sure I get my positions in first because I find it difficult to trade with you guys, but I'm always willing to share within my Discord. So if you guys want to scroll upwards and enter my Discord, I will be pretty much posting there every day, starting at 9 o'clock a.m. in the morning. That's where you'll see my trades, my ideas. I'll also share them on Twitter and Stock Twits too as well if you saw me on there. So this is, but I like this conversation. We had a good conversation. Um, Luckily, we were not all bears here today. We had some bulls, we had some bears, a good diversity. Esteban said it right. We can't all be bears, so that's why I went up yesterday. Right? It probably scared a lot of people out of the short, and but I am not scared. I'm continuing on with my recession theory. It's a theory because it hasn't happened, right? But when it does happen, maybe we'll all look like fortune tellers. So that's my closing thoughts. I will see you guys tomorrow. Adios and have a great night. See ya. See ya.